Good morning and happy Tuesday, as John Martin says if he was walking by the 3+U set this morning. It's good to have you watching the show today. Another muggy one here in the Tennessee Valley. If it looks like my hair's blowing in the breeze, that's because the crew's been kind enough to bring a fan outside on the porch. I'm glad for the cooler weather, and so is our first guest, because Zach Kanady is here in his CPA suit this morning, braving the hot July heat. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too.
You're here for a very big reason, though, because as an accountant, you're always about helping people do best with their taxes and avoiding paying taxes where they can legally.
Correct.
This weekend is your chance, because you not have just the one back-to-school tax-free weekend, but there are two other ways that folks can save money this weekend.
Correct. This weekend we have the traditional sales tax holiday, which covers clothing and school supplies and computers. But in addition, there's two more. Starting this Friday, running through next Thursday, August 5th, is the food sales tax holiday, which covers grocery store food and restaurant food. Things like tobacco and alcohol are actually excluded from that.
Sure.
But most other foods are included. And then the third sales tax holiday actually started on July 1st, and it runs a full year to June 30th, 2022.
Okay, and what's that one on?
That one's for gun safes and gun safety equipment. They're just trying to encourage people to store their guns safely and have safety measures around that.
I didn't mention the firm you're with. You're here on behalf of HHM,
Yes,
Henderson,
ma'am.
Hutcherson, and McCullough. There at the firm, you're seeing people come in with individual tax needs, as well as a lot of business tax that you do. So the food tax holiday this weekend, I think, has a special significance for you, because you see how hard hit the restaurant industry has been.
Yes, the restaurant industry was hit especially hard by the pandemic. I think this is Tennessee's way of trying to give back or encourage people to go out and support these local businesses. And the important distinction between the grocery store food and the restaurant food is the sales tax rates for each one. The grocery store food is a 4% sales tax rate, and the restaurant food is 7%. So it's a bigger tax savings to go to the restaurants, and so they're just trying to encourage people to go support those businesses.
So this weekend, let's say that you wanted to go ahead and make your life easy, and you were going to have a party at home, right? And you're going to dine out breakfast, lunch, and dinner
Right.
for a couple of days. And really, with this food one, you can extend it into next week as well, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Then you go and you get your bill, and typically you would see that the total came to $30, and you're going to pay your 7% tax on that.
Right.
Well, this weekend, and as long as you haven't bought alcohol, you're not going to see that 7% tax.
Correct. Yeah, and there's a few other items that are excluded, like candy and dietary supplements, some things that just, I guess, they don't consider essential.
Right.
But yeah, most foods for like a party or something, you would not have to pay that sales tax
It's
on.
going to be interesting to see, won't it, how people choose to handle that tax break. Will they keep it back in their own pocket and then go maybe dine somewhere else with that savings, or will they tip their waiter or waitress a little bit more?
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, some of it goes to waiters and waitresses, because they were also affected greatly by the pandemic. But,
Right.
But that's up to them.
So I know you didn't come here to wear all of the different hats that exist there within the walls of HHM, but in terms of the fabric of Chattanooga, I know you're not a native. You came here from the Johnson City area, right?
Correct. Yes.
But when these businesses began to really struggle a year ago, and many of them didn't make it, I'm sure
Right.
you saw that,
Yes,
not
ma'am.
make it. The ripple effect of what that would do in Chattanooga if we didn't support our own would be pretty great.
It would. Just as someone who was recently out of college, I saw friends lose their jobs. And if these businesses go under, neighbors lose their jobs, they lose their homes. The ripple effect is huge, and it affects everybody.
And I guess that this happens not because it's just beneficial for the consumer and the customer, but it helps the businesses in return.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
So with this back-to-school tax-free holiday that we've had for a long time, put your accountant hat on for me for a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
We can often think that, oh, what's the point of saving just a few dollars because it's just a few dollars. Every
Right.
penny adds up.
Correct. Every penny adds up. And this weekend, you can buy school supplies for the whole year. You can plan ahead. You can plan for clothing for your children for the next year. They grow a lot, but you can try to plan ahead. And if you do a lot of your shopping now, you can save hundreds of dollars throughout the next year.
I will say, just my 2 cents to throw in, perhaps I shouldn't, but maybe you've seen the stories that there's a predicted shortage of back to school supplies this year because of COVID. So if you don't have to stock up for the whole year, maybe try to save some for the next family coming behind, because where you may have 1 or 2 kids, they may have 5 or 6, and how sad if they couldn't get what they needed.
Correct. That's also a good point to keep in mind. I didn't think about that, but it's very possible that could be a shortage. There's been a shortage of most things. So.
Well, thanks for highlighting what to look forward to. So the back-to-school tax-free holiday is just the weekend only.
Correct.
The food tax-free holiday will extend until next Thursday.
Yep. August 5th, yes.
And then on the gun safes, that's a full year.
Yep, and it started July 1st and it runs through June 30th, 2022.
And if you have a tax question in general, you're more than welcome to call Zach and his colleagues at HHM. Their phone number, website, and address in downtown Chattanooga, right there on your screen. Happy shopping, everybody. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Far too often, people are being seriously injured and hurt because of negligent driving.